So I didn't want to share. You want to know? I was asked to share. Because since I've been here, a lot of good things have been happening in my life and a lot of positive changes. So when I was asked to share tonight, I'm still nervous right now, but because it's my first time doing something like this outside the realm of what I do. So my name is Kerry, better known as Kerry Gold, and let's just start so we can cut the nerves, right? Kerry Gold. So before I start tonight, I'd like to thank everyone from the Isha family for your warm and heartfelt welcome. It has been an amazing journey. With each and every one of you, I feel like I've grown and been a part of this ashram for more than just a couple of weeks, because it has been just a couple of weeks that I've been coming to the ashram. I'm extremely humble and grateful for this opportunity to share tonight not only my journey, but my devotion to Lord Shiva. I've gained so much inspiration from this temple and the people in the temple, and it seems like every story and every lesson leads one into the next as any continuous flow of love, faith, and devotion. And in continuation of elegies and Karisha's pravachan yesterday about time, my story today is about the time we dedicate to our devotion and how important it is to set aside time for the things that actually matter. So how much time do we set aside for God? In our daily lives, going to work, the hustle, the routine, how much time do we set aside for devotion? Whenever we are in distress or we are lost, the first thing we do is we run to our pandit, we run to the temple, we run to God, right? And we ask for forgiveness, we ask God for help, but that only exists in that fleeting moment that we seek God and we expect Him to answer our prayers immediately. However, in our day-to-day life, when things are going well and someone says, come let's go to a temple, or come let's go puja, or come let's offer abhishekam, life gets almost all of a sudden complicated. Everything becomes more important. And that time, your friends, your work, your priorities, God takes the last position because everything else becomes more important. Yet, we still expect God to answer our prayers instantaneously. So can anybody tell me what is devotion? What is your version of devotion?
For me, it's what comes from what I have.
Nice. Anyone else? What is your definition of devotion? What do you do? Nice. So at the end of this, I will tell you what led me here, but I'll give you what my definition of devotion is. Devotion is a deep commitment or dedication to something or someone. It can take many forms, such as love, loyalty, or religious faith. People express devotion in different ways, through actions, through sacrifice, time, and unwavering support. Whether it's devotion to a cause, a relationship, or a spiritual belief, it often involves putting the needs of that person or purpose above one's own. Did I get that right? So, one of the things that I've learned recently and in my own journey and studies is that we all call ourselves Hindus and we belong to Hinduism. And India is our home country, right? But it's really Sanatan Dharma. And we are Sanatanists. and we are all children of Bharat. So in Sanatana Dharma, spiritual devotion is known as bhakti, which means deep love, surrender, and dedication to the divine. Bhakti is considered one of the main paths to liberation, which we know as moksha, and is central to many Hindu traditions. Who can tell me what are the 4 types of bhakti? Anybody want to take a guess? Alright. So first type of bhakti or devotion is sakam bhakti, which is the devotion with desires seeking material and personal benefits. Then we have nishkam bhakti, which is a selfless devotion without expecting anything in return. Then we have apara bhakti, a lower form of devotion, often ritualistic and external. Remember we spoke about, was it last week? Shelley spoke about that robotic movement of doing arati and just standing in front of the murti, but we rarely pray when we stand in front of that murti. Do we really offer devotion when we stand in front of God? Or is it just another action that we are robotically performing? And the last one is Parabhakti, the supreme devotion where the devotee completely surrenders to God. What is the essence of bhakti? True bhakti is about unconditional love and surrender, seeing the divine in all beings and living a life of compassion, humility, and righteousness, which is Sanatana Dharma. So now we get to the main part of the story. The story of devotion. Once upon a time in a small village, there lived a poor but very devout man named Bhola. He had nothing of material value, but was rich in devotion to Lord Shiva. Every day without fail, he would go to the nearest forest, collect bilva leaves, and offer them to a small Shiva lingam near a river. With a pure heart and unwavering faith, he would chant Om Namah Shivaya and pray for Lord Shiva's blessings. Despite his poverty, Bhola never complained. He believed that everything in life was a gift from Mahadev, and whatever he had was enough. People in the village often mocked him, saying, "Praying to Lord Shiva won't fill your stomach. Go earn some wealth instead." How many times have you all heard that? But Bhola smiled and replied, "Shiva takes care of all his devotees. I trust him completely. I, Kerry, trust Lord Shiva completely." So, of course, he was tested. One day, Lord Shiva and Mata Parvati decided to test Bhola's devotion. Disguised as a rich merchant, Shiva appeared before him and said, "Bhola, why waste your time worshipping an invisible god? I'm a wealthy trader. If you serve me, I will reward you with gold and riches." Bhola folded his hands and humbly replied, "O kind merchant, I do not seek gold or riches. My only wealth is Lord Shiva. He is my protector, my guide, and my everything." And guys, I'm telling you this story, and it's also my story. Lord Shiva smiled but continued to test him. The next day he came disguised as a sage and offered to Bhola a magical gem that could grant unlimited wealth. Bhola politely declined, saying, "True wealth is devotion to Mahadev. What will I do with gold when my Lord's name is enough to sustain me?" Mata Parvati, watching from Mount Kailash, was moved by Bola's unshakable faith. She turned to Shiva and said, Mahadev, your devotee has passed every test. Bless him with your grace. The blessing is, pleased with Bola's pure devotion, Lord Shiva and Parvati appeared before him in their true form, radiating divine light. Bola fell at their feet, overwhelmed with joy, and Shiva blessed him, saying, From today, you shall never suffer from poverty. Your life will be filled with peace, happiness, and prosperity. Whenever a devotee prays with true love, I shall always be there for them. From that day onward, Bola's life changed. He never sought riches, and he never lacked anything. The village people once mocked him, now respected his unwavering faith. There's a saying that goes that if a man breaks you, God will lift you in front of him. The moral of the katha: true devotion is not about asking for material things, but surrendering completely to God. The faith in Lord Shiva can overcome any hardship. He always takes care of his devotees. Shiva's blessings come in unexpected ways, often testing patience and trust. And chanting his name with pure love can bring peace, prosperity, and divine grace. One of his mantras is, and I'm sure you all know this mantra, and you can join me. So it's the Maha Mitrida mantra for protection and peace and love. Yes. Om Shayam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvagavimha Bandana Mityur Mukshya Vimarmata. And the meaning of this mantra is, O three-eyed Lord Shiva, we worship you, the fragrant one who nourishes all beings, just as the ripe fruit falls effortlessly from its stem. May we be liberated from the bondage of death and attain immortality. The benefits of saying this mantra removes fear, negativity, protects one from disease and accident, and grants peace and spiritual upliftment. God answers your prayers. He hears them, He listens to them, and He responds to them, but He responds to them in His time. And like I mentioned before, the 4 types of bhakti, right? The first one is where He answers your prayers, but in His time and in His way. Secondly, He will answer your prayers and blesses you only when the time is right. When you have done all that you have done, then He will reward you. And thirdly, He blesses that devotee who completely surrenders to Him with more than he can ever imagine. So I'll take this time to reiterate that. A popular quote by Elegy: faith has the power to change your fate. F-A-I-T-H has the power to change your fate. Something that Ella has said time and time again and has stuck with me. Devoting oneself to devotion means making spirituality a central and ongoing part of your life. So people think that, like I go to the temple one day, I go to the temple 2 days, 3 days, I go this month because it's Navratri, I go that month because it's Diwali, and we think that that is enough. But personally, my life is such a hectic life. I run a business. I take care of my home. I try to make it to the gym every day. I have commitments that I need to commit myself to. But every day, I make time to even come to the temple. If it's not here, I find a temple and I go make my devotion. Some qualities of devotion. To focus on developing virtues like humility, gratitude, compassion, and selflessness. When these qualities become a natural part of your life, your actions, both big and small, reflect your inner devotion. As I have started praying, a lot of my ways have changed. Practice of selfless service. Engage in acts of service without expecting anything in return, whether it's helping others in your community or supporting a cause. Selfless service is a powerful expression of devotion that reinforces your connection with the divine. And I will tell you, when you are praying and you are devoting to Lord Shiva, that comes naturally. God opens a way for you to share not only what He has blessed you with, but He opens doors for you and He guides people to you. One day I did a puja and I had two, what do you call it, bags, sipas, and I gave one to the pandit and I left one in the car and I said, I'll go and I'll give it to the poor, I'll give it to somebody. And that day I drove home, and as I pulled up in my driveway, an elderly man came, and I've never seen this man before. And he came to the gate and he said, "Son, I'm very hungry and I want something to eat. Do you have any money that I can buy some food?" And the first thing that came to my mind was the seed that I had in the trunk. And I went to the trunk and I opened it, and there was a cedar full of groceries, and I gave it to him. I didn't have to go looking for somebody to give the cedar to. God sent him to my gate, because I was like, where am I going to find somebody who is deserving of the cedar? And He sent that person. As soon as I pulled in the yard, I didn't have time to close the gate. The man came up to me and he said, "Son, do you have anything for me to eat?" Surrender and let go. Devotion often requires surrendering your ego and attachments, trusting in a higher power and accepting that some things are beyond your control, and can help you develop a sense of peace and purpose. Carry your devotional attitude into your everyday activities, whether you're working, interacting with loved ones, or simply enjoying nature. Try to see the divine in everything around you. That constant awareness turns ordinary moments into opportunities of spiritual growth. Another little story about me. One day I came to the temple, and as soon as I put my foot in that door, this young lady called me up to the stage and she said, "Kerry, come offer prasadam to Shiva. The opportunities come." Connect with like-minded individuals, spiritual teachers, or communities who can support and inspire your journey. Learning from others' experiences and wisdom can deepen your own commitment and understanding. And I'm sure we've all gotten that here, from all the verses and the mantras and all the things that we have sat and listened to. I'm sure we have learned from. In essence, to devote oneself to devotion is to commit to a path of inner transformation, where your actions, thoughts, and feelings are aligned with a deep love and connection to the divine. It is a lifelong journey that requires consistency, openness, and a sincere heart. One of my personal favorite things to say is let go and let God. Because when you think you have a plan, God also has His plan. And now I'll tell you how I ended up here. So last year I started getting into devotion and prayer, and I started a period of fasting, which I fasted for about 150 days. I've been a vegetarian for most of my life, almost 30 years of my life I've been a vegetarian. So when I started fasting, what can I fast from? So I took an oath to fast from salt for 150 days. And in that period, I went through days of like 5 days of water, fruits, all of those things, and that is just how deep my devotion became. And I started getting all of these dreams. One of the dreams that I got, I dreamt I was doing offering to a Shivlingam. And as I was offering the Abhishekam to the lingam itself started vibrating, sending out its own vibration. And I woke up from that sleep, went to the bathroom, drank some water, and I went back to sleep. And I dreamt the same thing again. So I got up the next morning and I called my Pandit and said, Pandit, I want to do Abhishekam. I want to offer to the lingam. So I went and I offered to the lingam and everything. Okay, no problem. I did what the dream asked me to. Then lo and behold, later that week, one of my friends said, Carrie, she wants to go and offer Abhishekam to a lingam. So she said she wanted to go down to South to this particular temple. So I said, babe, why you want to go down there? It's so far and it's so late. By the time we get there, it's going to be dark. Can we find another temple? So my mother, who you all see me with tonight, unfortunately, she's not here, to Sumitra. She called mine and she asked mine if I could come and offer Abhishekam to the lingam outside. So Maya, of course, said yes. So after work, we had everything and we came and put on the YouTube mantras and we offered our Abhishekam to the lingam. So the next day, Mai called Auntie Sumitra and said, Auntie Sumitra, bring Carrie and come to temple on Sunday because we're having the Christmas celebration. So I said, alright, no problem. Normally I go to another temple. So that day we came to the temple and with no intent, that morning I was put to do Abhishekam on the same lingam. And that just showed me where God wanted me to be. And from that day, there's another story I could tell, but I've had enough time here. From that day, I made a promise to myself that for every Monday until Navratri, I want to do Abhishekam. Because it's not just a dream, but it's something that I was not asked to do, but guided to do. So, I hope I inspired some of you all tonight. And it was nerve-wracking, but thank you all for listening and thank you all for the opportunity. Oh, I have one more little so another thing that if you follow me on social media, I love quotes and I love just little sayings. And last week, one of the sayings was where your attention goes, your energy flows. So during COVID, I did the line of clothing with all of these quotes, and I sometimes wear them on my hoodies and stuff like that. And it was so funny that was the message last week. And these t-shirts sit in my salon for sale. And this is what I sold during COVID to make an income. And it was just so crazy that that was part of the kata last week. So Ella, I'm going to give you 2 of these. You can keep one for yourself and you can give one to, I think you should give it to somebody. Very good. So again, thank you everybody. Thank you for listening.
Jai Ho, Jai Sitaram. Thank you very much, Kerry. And he said he was terrified to come and share this message, but it's more of a testimony on the nature of, well, if you understood the undertone of what he was sharing there, his love and his devotion and the outcome that he has received from, worshiping Lord Shiva and Kerry. There are others who can share testimonials just like you right here. Isn't that so?
Yes.
So we know the power of devotion, and I want to thank you for sharing. And I hope that you inspire some more people to come up and share their messages. We always encourage